Hello, thank you for joining in. Today in this video we are going to learn about the repeat function in R, the REP function. And before we start, actually I have a small observation to make. I was actually seeing the last video in which we learned about the sequence function, and I noticed that I used the word write too many times, and after 2-3 times it really starts to become very annoying. So in this video I'm going to try and use the word write as few times as possible, and even if I do, I'll make sure that I remove it in the editing part. Okay, so let's jump in to learn more about the repeat function. So before we start, let's look at the documentation. Okay, so the first value is the vector, basically, which we want to repeat. The another argument is the times argument. It would be a number of times we want to repeat x, and each argument is the number of times we want each value in x that should be repeated. Confused, right? Okay, let's look at some examples. So if we do rep1 and times equal to 3, what do we get is number 1 is repeated 3 times. Okay, makes sense. Now what if we do repeat each equal to 3? It still gives us the output, the same output. So what is the difference between them? Let's take some more example. So if we do 1 comma 2, and instead of each, if we take times, so the sequence 1 comma 2 is repeated 3 times. 1 2, this is 1 time, this is second time, and this is third time. Okay, now if we do the same with each argument, it gives us, okay, so each element in x, so for example in here we have 2 arguments, 1 and 2, so each argument tells us that how many times each value in x should be repeated. So 1 is repeated 3 times, and then 2 is repeated 3 times. If we check, the length of the sequence is the same. We get 6 numbers here, we get 6 numbers here, but the way in which it is represented is different. We can clearly distinguish between times and each argument when the length of the vector is greater than 1. Let's again take some more examples. Let's say 89, 56. So each value in x, for example here 89, 65, 34 and 1 is repeated for 3 times. So we can also use strings here. So let's take and cold, maybe. I don't know why I chose these words, but just for reference, if we use this, so the sequence is repeated 3 times. Ronak the cold, Ronak the cold, and Ronak the cold. We can use each as well with two times. Ronak, Ronak, the other, cold, cold. Okay, so it depends how you use it and how you want your output to be, and based on that you can decide if you want to use times or each argument. You can also combine it with numbers and characters. There's no restriction as such. So let's say if you have 1 2 a, and times equal to 3, you'll repeat it 1 2a, 1 2a, 1 2a. Okay, cool. There is one additional thing. We have length.out argument, which is same as the one which we saw in sequence function. So if you see, you have this vector times is equal to 3, and And now if we want to use length.out, so for the same input with length.out argument, we specify the length of the sequence which we want. So it trims the sequence and displays only the first 5 digits here. Okay, so this was pretty simple tutorial, and I guess you have a basic idea about the repeat function in R. And basically the only hard part is to know about the times and each argument in this, and I'm sure now after watching this tutorial you are pretty clear about it. If you have any feedback about this video, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Till then, bye bye.